While waiting for a red light to turn green at an intersection in Managua, it's common to see teenagers or even young children on the brink of adolescence cleaning windshields. They wipe them down without asking and then wait to see if they'll get paid for their service. In Granada, we saw kids attempt to sell flowers made from palm fronds to uninterested tourists. Others entertained with street music and dance, and after performing, they would walk around to see if they'd at least be tipped for their performance. In both cases, the interactions are often fruitless, as the youth receive little to no money for their work.
The World Bank reports that 93% of Nicaraguans are employed, but 76% of those employed work in the informal sector. That means they have no employer, no steady income, no benefits, and no security. Statistics show that 14% of this informal sector is 15 to 17-year-olds, and our experience shows that there are much younger people here too.
Nicaragua is an incredibly young country. 52% of the population is under the age of 25, making the youth a large and important sector of society. However, it is also often the most vulnerable. Though some live in good environments and are able to pursue education or improve their economic circumstances, many live with families who, due to working conditions and unstable homes, are unable to provide opportunities, safety, or support for their children. In an attempt to learn more about the situation of urban youth, we visited 3 organizations that are working to change their realities. These organizations specialize in different areas of providing opportunities for the youth in communities across Managua.
Casa Alianza Nicaragua, associated with Covenant House in the U.S., is a nonprofit, non-governmental organization that houses adolescents in high social risk situations. They were founded in 1998, and their goals include defense of rights, protection, rehabilitation, and holistic development of these adolescents. We were able to speak with Naira Morales, the director of Hilton Residence, which is one of Casa Alianza's houses for teenage youth. Naira spoke about the resources they offer for teenagers that come into the center.
Y bueno, y nuestra especialización, nuestro objetivo de Casa Alianza es más que todo un proceso brindar.
Our specialization in Casa Alianza is to offer a process of recovery. We offer this process with the goal of the adolescents, the teenage boys and girls, recognizing their own internal resources in order to be able to live out their life plan in a conscious, aware way that they decide.
Casa Alianza has 2 residences for 13 to 17-year-olds, one for both girls and boys, and the other for pregnant girls or teenage mothers. In both residences, the entering youth have suffered from addictions, consumption of drugs, or cases of violence or abandonment.
What is important to us when a teenager enters into the casa? We have an open door policy. What does that mean? When a teenager comes into Casa Alianza, either referred to us by the court system or by the Ministry of Family, or if the teenager has walked in by themselves or with their mother, we ask them, "Do you want to start this process?" Because for us, the will of the person is important. In our process, we talk about the protagonism of the central role that a teenager has in his or her own process of recovery. From the beginning, it is important for the teenage girl or boy to recognize their own responsibility. We help them to focus on this, and we make sure they understand this responsibility.
Though many people enter with resistance, Casa Alianza maintains that participants' willingness is one of the most important factors in the success of a recovery process. This process lasts 1 year and includes 3 phases. Casa Alianza attempts to help them recover first and then create a plan for reintegration into society. This reintegration process can happen with or without the youth's family.
Muchos de ellos vienen sin el apoyo de los familiares.
We could say that probably 60% of the youth count on very little support or 0 from their families. This affects their process of recovery because once the teenager leaves Casa Alianza, they need a support network. Many times we work only with that teenager and there's no network of support. When there is family support, we are immediately able to go and work with the family to prepare for when the youth returns. We identify the family, look at their resources, their situation, and see if they can participate in our processes and learn about the basics of recovery. In this way, they can support the teenager. We really try to have a holistic approach.
We also visited Cantera, another nonprofit, non-governmental organization. Founded in 1988, Cantera's mission states that they work with communities in order to brainstorm proposals and organize the resources needed in order to make the community's dreams come true. Cantera is a large organization with several different focuses, but we visited in order to learn more about their youth development programs. Cantera has 4 locations across Managua with the goal of reaching out to urban youth. These centers offer both engaging social activities and more formational programs aimed at positive development. We talked with Andy Choi, the International Relations Coordinator at Cantera's main office.
Basically, the hook that many of the youth kind of get tied into are the socio-cultural programs that we have, so dance, theater, soccer, sports, stuff like that, English class, and then after that they get kind of more involved and get to hear more about the different workshops and different formational processes that Cantera offers. And so basically these centers are basically used as spaces where they're promoted as being spaces where children can feel comfortable, youth can feel comfortable with being who they are, because sometimes they're not accepted in their families, not accepted even in the community in general, and so when they come to the center they can be wherever they are, they can do theater by feeling safe and not having to feel like they're being judged or they're being discriminated against.
Cantera focuses on empowering youth leaders so that they can go out and make a difference in their communities.
And lots of these video that they do are based on kind of social issues that they as youth face in their communities. So lots of them they'll have videos, for example, about early teen pregnancy, anti-violence, single mothers or mothers or parents who have traveled or migrated from the country to then find other jobs and then send back money to their families.
At the centers, Cantera workers and leaders, many of whom are Nicaraguans from the area, engage in a dialogue with the youth in order to learn about their goals.
Focusing on analyzing our reality right now. So, what's going on with me? What's going on with my family? What's going on with my community? What's going on in greater society and how that all relates? And so then, if I myself change, then I can make change within my family. And then if my family is more aware of it, then we can spread it to other family members and to the community, into greater society. It's the youth themselves who come up with these ideas and who come up with, we want this because we see this as being a problem. And so we want to initiate something, and so then Cantera is just there for whether it's financial support, and sometimes even the kids will find ways, most of the times the youth will find ways to raise money for different occasions, for example.
Cantera believes in giving resources to youth after they develop a plan of action. These action plans and their results are important, but also important are the lifelong skills that youth learn at Cantera.
The goal, though, is not for youth to be in Cantera for all their lives either. The goal is for them to get what they can get from Cantera and then use what they've learned to make that difference outside of Cantera,
Does your work make you optimistic for the future of the youth?
Yeah, absolutely. It's making a difference, I think, in the youth here for the better.
The final organization that we visited was the Cultural Center in Bataola Norte. Founded in 1983, the center offers educational, technical, and cultural classes, giving opportunities to the working class community. For youth and their families, the center has created extracurricular activities that include creative and educational opportunities. They work on enhancing communication within families, fighting against gender-based violence, and developing the creativity of young people. We met with Claudia Regina, a former Cultural Center Scholarship recipient who now works within the Arts and Culture section. She talked to us about the programs the center offers.
We have workshops for parents and children that work with the whole family. In the workshops, the families can have playful encounters. The mothers and fathers will do an activity with their children like coloring, dancing, or art projects so they can learn to communicate better together.
Education is seen as an important value within the Bataola Norte community. With the help of outside organizations, Bataola is able to help older students go to university or younger children get extra help with homework.
We also have a program for university students where they can receive economic scholarships. Each recipient will receive a certain amount of funds, and they have to meet certain requirements, like coming from economically challenged families, maintaining good grades, and volunteering at the center actively.
The This center has changed my life since I began to get involved at it. It helped me develop some abilities that I didn't have before, like speaking in public without fear. Now, clearly, I'm not afraid to speak in public. I also have been able to put in practice other things, like thinking of others before I make decisions. This has changed me a lot because it has made me want to work for other people, not only for myself. Now, I get to go to university and receive theory, but also bring the power of my education back here.
Within the formational area, we offer technical and artistic courses for children and adolescents in the community of Bataola Norte. So for example, a course in a music school would normally cost you $50. But here in Bataola Norte, we have good quality teachers and it costs only $5. So we offer this alternative to the children of the community so they can study music. It's a space for them to develop their creativity.
I did the music course 3 years ago, starting the recorder with my professor, Ninette. During that year, they taught us singing techniques, how to play flute and read music. The next year, I was able to choose an instrument to learn. I chose marimba because I'm very Nicaraguan. The marimba is Nicaraguan music, and I like to preserve the culture. I have been learning marimba for 2 years.
Gabriel.
I have been in Bataola Center for 3.5 years. I started with flute, and the following year I chose the guitar. When I was halfway through the guitar course, Ninette, the professor, asked if I wanted to learn the marimba. I liked it, and have been learning for 2 years. We lived in Bataola Norte for 6 weeks. During that time, we were able to see firsthand the impact the center has had on the community. From small children exploring music for the first time to adults teaching others useful skills, the center serves as a community space for people of all ages to interact.
Casa Alianza, Cantera, and the Cultural Center in Bataola Norte are working hard to find, create, and provide opportunities for youth at risk in Managua.
Their work provides hopeful examples of youth taking charge of their lives. As we walked away from each of these meetings, we were greatly encouraged by the work we witnessed.
However, it is impossible to be overly optimistic while driving the streets of Managua. There is still a lack of opportunity and a great amount of injustice in the lives of Nicaraguan youth. Until there are no children at restaurants begging for loose change or standing in traffic as they try to make a few dollars, the youth of Managua are still at risk. And it don't stop. On and on, and it don't stop. Okay.